Welcome to SSSD Beyond the Hill, the official podcast of WKU Student Support Services Disabilities, also known as SSSD. I'm your co-host, Mr. Jimmie Martin.
And I'm your co-host, Katie Eversole. Here we explore the incredible resources, opportunities, and stories that empower students to succeed at WKU and beyond.
Each episode, we will chat with special guests, whether it's a student, staff member, community leader, or whoever, to share their stories, their insight, and advice, all to help you thrive and be successful at college.
Whether you're looking for tips to navigate college, learn about campus support, or hear stories of perseverance, we've got you covered.
And special shout out to our producer, Miss Ella Galvin, who's making all this possible behind the scenes. Shout out, Ella.
We're so glad you're here. Now let's dive in. Today, we are honored to sit down with a true champion for students with disabilities, Mr. Jimmie Martin.
Hey.
As a proud Western Kentucky native and someone with first-hand experience navigating learning disabilities, Jimmie has made it his life's mission to ensure every student with a disability at WKU feels seen, supported, and empowered to succeed. Whether through one-on-one coaching, leading impactful workshops, or developing inclusive programming, his dedication runs deep. Jimmie holds a Bachelor of Science in Advertising with a minor in Marketing from Murray State University.
Go Racers!
And a Master of Science in Education with a focus in Student Affairs from Northern Illinois University.
Let's go Huskies!
His professional journey has taken him across several institutions, from Murray State and Morehead State to the University of Iowa and University of Kentucky. And now he's using all of that experience to make difference here at WKU. But today, we're not just talking about his incredible work at WKU. We're spotlighting the leadership as the newly appointed chair of the WKU Faculty and Staff Neurodiversity Alliance, or FSNDA, a campus-wide initiative focused on building a more inclusive and supportive environment for neurodivergent students, faculty, and staff. In this episode, we'll explore Jimmie's personal journey, the vision behind the FSNDA, and how he's working to elevate neurodiversity awareness, promote equitable access, and foster a campus culture where every individual can thrive. I'm going to restart that. In this episode, we'll explore Jimmie's personal journey, the vision behind the FSNDA, and how he's working to elevate neurodiversity awareness, promote equitable access, and foster a campus culture where every individual can thrive, right here on the Hill. Welcome, Jimmie! Woo!
Hey! Audio only episode. Welcome to the audio audience.
We didn't even have to move the table.
I know.
I mean,
it's
crazy.
Best thing ever. This tables are so
Also,
heavy.
it is much weird being on this side of the table. I see the intimidation factor now. Yeah.
We are intimidating.
Yeah.
Very much so. Oh, yes. Rawr. Okay.
Alrighty, Jimmie, we're going to jump straight into it. Because you don't know how this goes at all, right?
No, first time.
First
Actually,
time.
the second time I've been on a podcast, being interviewed for a podcast.
Oh.
Were you interviewed on your own podcast the last time?
No. Actually, I guess it's the first time on my own podcast, yeah. No, the other one was, what is the name of that soccer team? There was a soccer team in Illinois that interviewed me for their show.
Very cool.
Nice.
So he's a seasoned podcaster.
There you go.
Sure.
Well,
Alrighty.
I'm as seasoned as some boiled chicken, maybe, but...
Anyway.
Do you season boiled chicken? I don't
No,
cook
that was
chicken.
the
I don't
Do you
cook.
boil
I don't.
chicken?
Yeah. When do you
Wait,
boil
I feel like
chicken?
that'd be
Some
nasty.
people would boil chicken. It's like an old...
Wouldn't that
thing.
like lose all the everything?
Wouldn't that make it
that's the point of
gross?
it, yes. Like, boiled chicken is bland, plain,
I was gonna say,
nasty.
you need
Sorry.
some
We're
Old Bay
young.
or something on that. Like.
No, you wouldn't put Old Bay in it if it's getting boiled. I mean, you could, and then it would have flavor, but that would defeat the purpose of boiling it.
Well, you'd put it on afterwards.
Mm.
I don't like cooking chicken. Anyways, we're gonna jump straight into this podcast after our one of the very many little whatever they're called.
Diversions.
Divergent.
What?
Distractions.
There we go.
All right. Anyways. So, Jimmie, can you start by sharing just a little bit about your personal journey and how it led you to a career in student support and disability services?
Yeah, so Western Kentucky native, from a small town in Hopkins County called Earlington, which is right outside of Madisonville, Kentucky. So shout out to Earlington, shout out to Madisonville. Didn't have the greatest upbringing, if I'm being honest. Most of my life I was with a single mom, so my mom did the best that she could. but there were definitely some struggle points at different parts of my life. One of the biggest struggles for me growing up was always being in special ed and being, and I'm using air quotes here, like, othered, right? Like, from a very young age, I think even from second or third grade is when they started putting me in special ed classes. At first it was because they, I needed glasses and I didn't have glasses when I was in first grade. But then they realized, like, oh no, this kid learns differently. So I would go to like special ed classes, and it was a big struggle for me. Like, I was somebody who was also an athlete. I played football in high school, middle school, elementary school, all the way up through. So I was kind of dually viewed as like an athlete, which has a certain connotation in American culture, right? But then I was also a student with a disability. So it was always a challenge, growing up and learning how to figure things out for myself and how to not only advocate for myself, but for how to navigate through the school system. My mom did a really good job on making sure that I could like have as much as I needed, but yeah, we didn't always have what we wanted, right? Fast forwarding that, going to college, this is one of like my favorite like disability type stories, right? When I went to college, I told my mom, I want to be normal. I'm using air quotes again because what is normal, right? I didn't want help from the Disability Services Office at Murray State. I wanted to figure things out on my own. I wanted to be what I perceived as normal, right? But that didn't work out very well. After my first semester, I had like a 1.75 GPA. I was put on academic probation, or academic warning, and I knew that I had to get not only my next semester GPA above a 2, but I had to get my cumulative above 2 all in one semester. I went back to the SDS office and I told them, like, hey, I actually do need some help. So they helped me with a lot of my test taking skills, allowed me to take the test in the like disability center where we had, you all saw this when we took a tour over the summer, right? A private room with a reader, so like somebody to help me read the exams and to get the assistance that I need. I guess I should have said my diagnoses. In high school, I got diagnosed with dyslexia, and it's a very interesting neurodiversity diagnosis because dyslexia can look almost completely different between one person and another. Dyslexia is way more than just like, oh, you can't read and you mix letters up. Yes, that is part of it, but I think as I am learning more from being in this role and from it being more popular in pop culture, that there is so much more to it. Later on, I found out I also have dyscalculia, which is the same thing with numbers and mixing that up. Some may argue I even have dysgraphia because of how great my handwriting is, but I definitely don't think I have that. So I really do credit a lot of my early college success to the SDS office at Murray State. Like, they really helped me get through those first 3 years, or no, the last 3 years. Sorry, I said it backwards. Dyslexia.
Dyscalculia.
And dyscalculia. There you go, actually.
Write it down, it'll be dyscalculia.
Oh, no. I forgot where that story was going. Oh, so, like, they really helped me. Miss Loretta, who unfortunately passed away, probably 10, 12 years ago or so at this point. She passed away after I had left Murray, but she was like a big reason that I was as successful as I was. And their current staff, their director Ken Ashlock was my hall director, and then the assistant director of housing while I was there. So he is also somebody that played a big role in not only my career but in my disability journey as well. Taking a sip there. As far as my career goes, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So, as
Who
Katie,
does?
Well, as Katie said, I was an advertising major. But one of the two things that I lacked with that, I didn't have any experience with advertising. I didn't work at any agencies. I didn't get any I didn't even try to get any internships with like newspapers, radio stations, nothing. And one of the biggest reasons is to the second point here is I don't like sales.
Isn't that what advertising is?
Partially.
It's changed a lot nowadays.
Oh, okay.
But especially in the late aughts when I was
Late
in
what?
college, late aughts, like the zero.
The aughts?
Yes, when you were a wee little baby
You could
child.
have just said the late 2000s.
You could have just said the. Okay,
2000s.
yeah.
Late aughts? Can you spell that out for me?
Aught? O-O-O-T.
Oh. Okay, anyways, moving on. The late aughts, what were you doing?
And that's when I was at Murray. Advertising was still heavily linked to sales. And, while we had class projects where we created different projects and we created different campaigns and stuff like that, it was never a scenario where I felt super comfortable. It wasn't something I enjoyed doing that much. I was a horrible graphic designer. Like, awful. Like, thank God now we have Canva where I can look like semi-competent. I mean, Ellie, you do a way better job than I ever
Thank
will.
you.
But I definitely could not be as successful as I am now.
Do you think it's because they didn't have any honeycombs back then?
That's a deep office cut. And no, it didn't. It's probably because we didn't have honeycomb designs like you all have with Canva right now.
Sorry, we're just researching the aughts right now.
I thought you were being fake. Also, it starts with
It's
an
really-
A.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
found it
just
starts with an
like-
O.
No, it says AUGHT.
They told me it
The
was
late aughts.
OUGHTS.
Well, in British English, it's
There
called
you
naughty. I don't
There
know.
you go.
go.
Anyways.
So I
Now-
didn't know
now
what I
teeth.
wanted to do with
Mhm.
advertising. I had a music business internship where I thought that maybe at one point that was going to be the career path I would go down, but breaking into something like that is really, really challenging, and the industry is not super accepting, at least at that time, of students with disabilities.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's any kind of business like that. They're
Yeah.
not going to be able to give you the accommodations that you make in
Mhm.
like a classroom situation. So I really didn't know what to do. At that point, I had been an RA for 2 summers and 2 years. And my hall director during that second year, that was what you all didn't just see is both of them reaching for their waters. My RA, her name was Crystal. Shout out to Crystal. She really
With a K
saw
or a C?
with a C.
Good.
Oh, okay.
She really saw a lot of potential in me, and she encouraged me to go down this path of student affairs, right? Because when I was an RA, I planned all kinds of big events. Like I planned a yard sale for my building that used some unused furniture and stuff like that
That's
other students
awesome.
had donated. I organized multiple concerts within my residence hall, just a lot of big community building kind of activities. And, she really just encouraged me to go and make something of that, make a career of that. So she worked with Dr. David Wilson. Shout out to Mr. David Wilson. He is the director of the housing department at Murray State.
Woo.
Dr. Wilson allowed me and 2 other RAs to go to this conference in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That
They
is-
have cheese there.
they have a lot of cheese there. And for
Is that in the middle of nowhere?
Yes.
It's up at the top right below Canada.
I don't know if it's.
I
that
learned this
high up.
last night. It's by Michigan.
Yes.
I
it is-
played a map game,
Oh, okay.
and it's by Michigan. Anyways.
So, as Katie said, Oshkosh is way up north in Wisconsin, and I'm from Kentucky, and I had not
Oh,
been
wow.
that. I had never been that far away, and we went in late March, and down here in Kentucky, it's starting to get warm. It's 40s, 50s, maybe occasional.
Was it
60s.
freezing cold there?
It snowed a foot
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
while we were there.
That's not a lot for up there, though.
It's not.
yeah,
but
for
For
you.
you,
For me,
yeah.
it's
What? We get 2 inches here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Oh
got
wait,
foot
yeah, a
overnight.
foot. That's that much.
Yeah,
Oh
dude,
wow.
that's 12 inches. That's a lot. So when we got up there, they allowed us to go to this conference. The department paid for everything. Meals,
nice.
food, transportation, everything for us.
You're fancy.
And all we had to do was be a representative of the office to potential other hall director candidates for them, and to talk about our experiences, RAs, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the time, we were free to interview with other schools. So I did. I interviewed with 12, 15 other schools at that time. Fell in love with Northern Illinois. Had a long journey that I'll talk about another time on like how I chose Northern Illinois and the circumstance of the trip. But I found a place that felt similar to Murray as far as the community that the office built, that also wanted to give me an opportunity. So I went to Northern Illinois, did a graduate hall director for 2 years in the arts living learning community, which was fantastic. Old building, Neptune North, shout out Neptune North. That building was probably built in like the 50s or 60s and has not yet been renovated.
Oh, wow. So it's
Still to this day?
Yeah, still to this day.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
wow.
old. But it had a lot of really cool things for art students. So down in the bottom level of the building, it had an art gallery for students to display their work. That I worked with the students in the building to put up their work down there. It had a dance studio that we held programs in. Dance students would go in there and use the space. It had an art studio with like easels and movable tables and all of the art stuff that students will need. It had a soundproof music room. It was pretty small and it only had like a piano in it, but like it met the need so that students, one, in the middle of Northern Illinois winter, or if they just didn't want to go across campus, they didn't have to. They had something in their building that would meet their needs. So really enjoyed all of that. And that experience just kind of solidified like, yep, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to help people. Loved my time in NIU. Got my first professional job at Morehead State Housing. I was a hall director there. Morehead is a very interesting town. It is very, very small. She said it.
Lots of snow. I toured there.
There's not a lot of snow.
I toured there
There's more
and
snow
we
than
got
here,
stuck.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, we got stuck in Versailles. Or Versailles.
No, it's
however.
Versailles.
Versailles.
Yeah, Kentucky's Versailles.
But we were touring Morehead.
The accent that just came out there.
So, anyways, your time in Morehead. Was it snowy?
Yeah,
like,
it was a little bit of
Wisconsin?
snowy. No, nothing like
Good,
that. Like
good.
we might have got a foot in a year.
Oh, wow,
opposed to
okay.
But had a really great experience. But my time there was short. I was only there for like a year and a half.
Oh.
Loved my boss, Dr. Alan Rucker. Shout out Alan. Great supervisor, very supportive. There's kind of a theme. Always having
love
like
your
a
bosses.
super supportive boss. That's one of the things I need to be successful.
That's why you're such a good boss.
I try, man. Oh, y'all be testing me sometimes though. Anyways.
That's okay. That's our job. You tested your
You
bosses.
need to be
first.
challenged.
That is very true. Yes, both of those
Keep
are
you
very
on
true.
your toes.
Yes, you do. Left there, went to the University of Iowa. Had a great experience there. My wife and I still opine about Iowa and how much we enjoyed.
Still
Opine.
What's that word mean?
Google it. Think of it very fondly. We really enjoyed our time in Iowa. It was a great city, great community, etc. But for family reasons, we wanted to come back home. If our family was in Iowa, we would have stayed in Iowa for the rest of our lives, I think. Took a job at UK. Pandemic happened. Life happened. And it just, my time at UK was a little bit shorter than I would have wanted it to be. But that opened up an opportunity for me to come down here to Western and to do the job that I genuinely think I was created to do. So.
Oh,
Yay.
how sweet.
That's cute. You like it.
I do. So I've had a very supportive mentors and role models throughout my career, and I really appreciate everything that they have done, especially those folks early in my career that really believed in me and took a chance on me. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. And that has all led me to here, to being like y'all's boss and being the director of this program, where I tried to do the same thing for every student that I meet, not just, you all, because you work for me. I know what it feels like to struggle. I know what it feels like to be insecure. I know what it feels like to not feel like you're supported or you don't have a direction. And it is those kind of things that help push me to be the best possible ally and advocate I can for students.
Okay. Thank you for all of that.
It was a 20-minute answer to a 2-sentence question.
It's okay.
It wasn't 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was. We're at 19 minutes and 54 seconds.
Well, we had an introduction. It was about 17 minutes.
Anyways, so now we're gonna thank you for sharing your story. Now we're gonna shift to talking about how, first of all, congratulations on being named chair of the WKU Faculty and Staff Neurodiversity Alliance.
Thank
Woo!
you. Thank you. It was a very competitive competition against myself.
We're still happy for you.
Hey, you deserved it. That's why everyone gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. I don't know a whole lot, about FSNDA in their past. They haven't been around on campus for very long. From kind of my understanding, a couple of years ago, there were a couple of people that met and were like, hey, I'm neurodiverse. Hey, I'm neurodiverse. I'm sure there are other people around campus who are faculty and staff that are also neurodiverse. We should create a group together. So that's kind of how it started. And one of my biggest things with the organization to date is just really trying to build in some support structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Katie and I last summer worked tirelessly on building SAA.
Wow.
So I've kind of used that as a little bit of a template to create structure for FSNDA. There's a lot of work that we still need to do, and it's funny that we're talking about this right now because as of time of recording, I'm watching messages come in on our Slack channel about trying to figure out a meeting. It's funny how a bunch of neurodiverse people have struggles figuring out when to meet.
Who would have thunk
Who
it?
would have thunk that?
You all should just meet on Saturday. Get some coffee.
Saturday?
Get some coffee. Make it a little party. Go to El Maz. Get some not coffee.
Get some water.
So anyways, you kind of explained a little bit what they are, but can you explain more of what you guys are, what you guys do, and your mission on campus?
Yeah, so we are, as the name describes, right, we're a group of currently WKU faculty and staff who are neurodiverse. The organization really is there to help support the faculty and staff portion of the university. We all know there are a bunch of great resources for our students on campus, from SSSD to SARC to the Kelly Autism Program and so much more, right? But there's not a whole lot for faculty and staff. So having an organization like this can help us create spaces for conversations of how to make the university more inclusive to neurodiversity staff. But also it gives us a space to meet and to create community here, which was not available before that. So, I really want the organization to continue those things. Yes, I want to build those support structures so the organization has something to go on. But more importantly, it's to keep the soul of the organization, to bring in neurodiverse faculty staff as well as allies. So if there's anybody on campus that may be listening to this who is not neurodiverse, doesn't have a diagnosis, or just likes being an ally for their friends across campus, you're also welcome to join the Alliance. That's one of the things that I definitely wanted to keep, was the Alliance part of the name, to not be uninclusive of any allies that we have out there. I know there are several folks from housing that have been strong advocates and allies for our organization and have partnered and worked with us. So it's just a great community that we're trying to build. We have social media. I may or may not remember it off the top of my head, but we'll put it down in the description, all of our social media handles. note for Ella for later.
Are you in charge of the Instagram, Jimmie?
I am not. No.
Okay, good.
So we have a social media chair.
Good.
It is FS Neurodiversity Alliance.
Alliance.
Whoop.
A welcoming space for neurodivergent faculty, staff, and allies to connect, support, inclusion, and celebrate all kinds of minds. Brain emoji, star emoji.
See, look.
Did AI write that, Jimmie?
I did not. I have no idea.
Oh, look, I follow them.
Chelsea is our.
Shout out to Chelsea. She's a G. I
She's the
love
one who's
her.
managing all of that. So
She's
it
a
was.
G.
It's a new. It's a new site, or not site. It's a new page that we've created just for this year. It was an old page account. Thank you. So make sure that you go and follow like the new account, so you can stay up to date. with what's going on.
The most recent post is Jimmie's face, so you can't miss it.
Yeah,
It's a
you
jump
can't miss
scare.
it. Yeah, it is a little bit of a jump scare, but it's a good post. I liked it.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Oh, I like this quote you gave, the Ralph Waldo Emerson one.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it's one of my favorite quotes.
That's a cute
No, I
one.
love it.
I
Well,
love quotes.
now that sorry, didn't mean to cut Katie off there. So FSNDA, I know, is partnering with a few different organizations to host the Accessibility Awareness Fair. Woo! Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is and what students can expect from that event?
Yeah, just confirming September 10th, right?
Yes.
Make sure I have
Yes.
the date in mind.
11 a.m. to 1
11
p.m.
11 to 1 right here on WKU's campus, right
Centennial
behind
Mall.
DSU on Centennial Mall. Yes, you are correct. So before I talk about that, like I do briefly want to talk about the whole organization, or all of the organizations that are coming together to help pull this together. So
The radio.
earlier this summer,
Sorry.
I helped create a new group of offices, committee of offices
good
around
word.
campus that support neurodiversity or just general disability awareness across campus. Did I say something?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
My mic smells. I wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry.
Well done.
Continue.
Well done. And we called it the Radar Project because I really want to raise more awareness of disabilities across campus, and FSNDA is part of the founding of Radar Project, along with the Kelly Autism Program, the Student Accessibility Resource Center, and then of course SSSD.
Woo!
Hey, you're forgetting one.
I am.
SAA.
Oh, and SAA, our student organization.
Thank you. Woo!
Well, and there are other organizations that we could look to add that
Yeah.
even further. We could work with the visual impaired student org from SARC. I can't remember what it's called.
Nope,
off the top of
it's
my head.
the Deaf and Hard of Hearing
Deaf
Club.
and hard of hearing. There it is. I was off. Eyes and ears, nose. Mouth.
Yes, but if you're interested in joining Radar, let us know.
Yes, absolutely. So this the fair idea spawned out of the Neurodiversity Awareness Fair that we, April McCauley from the First Generation
Initiative.
Thank you, Initiatives Office, who's also a member of FSNDA, Faculty Staff Neurodiversity Alliance. We partnered with her last year to plan the Neurodiversity Awareness Fair. I wanted to take that blueprint and do it for all disabilities across campus. So it's really an event to help showcase what resources are available across campus, what priorities different offices have of helping promote disability awareness or accessibility in their space, whether that's like the rec center or Hilltopper Nutrition, or Katie has a whole list of all of the places that will be coming.
Which she can share right now.
Yeah,
I was trying to tee you up there.
Oh, I thought you were still talking.
You're good.
So joining us for our amazing Accessibility Awareness Fair will be multiple different campus organizations and offices. Like, we're going to have SARC, Housing and Residence Life should be there. Of course, SSSD will have a table. We'll also be having a sensory-friendly tent for any students who would love to utilize that. We'll have the Student Accessibility Ambassadors, Faculty, Staff, and Neurodiversity Alliance will have a table. We have the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Club, Academic ACDC, Who else is joining us? Hilltopper Nutrition. They're gonna have some fun tasty sensory shakes. So I'm excited
Woo.
to try those this time. And then
did you
yes.
say our off-campus resources?
That's gonna
Okay, sorry.
Also joining us will be some community and some national organizations, some state organizations, some really amazing people. Kentucky School for the Blind will be joining us. Also, Kentucky School for the Hard of Hearing, I believe is their official title. They'll both be joining us and be hanging out and talking about what they do. We also have Kentucky Arts for All will be coming and presenting, and we're working on getting some more people as well. But if you're listening and you'd like to join us, please feel free to do so. We want anybody who has any kind of impact with students with disabilities, just kind of highlight how you yourself and how your organization helps students with disabilities and how we want students to know that everything is accessible for them, and if it isn't, we can make it that way. So we want all kinds of different organizations represented and everywhere on campus to feel included in our little thing. I'm excited we're doing an overall one, because I think that was the biggest feedback we had with the neurodiversity one, was that they wanted to learn more about students who are blind, students who are deaf or hard of hearing, all different kinds of disabilities, as opposed to just neurodiversity. Because I think a lot of times students that don't have disabilities don't understand neurodiversity or orthopedic versus intellectual, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, and to add on to that, if you are not a student with disabilities, still feel free to come by, learn about the resources. You could help someone, you could help your neighbor in your dorm, or you could help someone that may be struggling to find those resources. So come by no matter what.
Yeah. It's going to be at Centennial Mall on September 10th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., like Jimmie said. And so just feel free to stop by. We're going to just be running from right between VSU and Minton, for those that don't know where Centennial is. We'll be right there, so if you're walking on your way to class, you have a few extra minutes, or you're about to go get some lunch, stop by, grab you a Hilltopper Nutrition little smoothie, grab you a packet from Stark and SSSD, and just find out some more information about what disabilities look like and what you can do to help students with disabilities.
Absolutely. Well done, y'all. That was a great plug. Well done.
Thank you.
It's that advertising you've taught us.
Yes.
Love it so much.
So another thing that the Radar Group is doing this year is the creation of the sensory-friendly tailgate.
Yeah.
Yes. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about the design of those and what goes into those?
Yeah, so I have to give Katie credit for this, because last year,
Woo.
she came up to SSSD and said, hey, can we do a sensory-friendly tailgate?
I said we were going to do it, and he said no. I said that. Sorry, guys, continue.
I don't know if I said no per se, but I said if you want to do it, make it happen.
There was many conversations about it.
Yes.
Took a lot of convincing.
It did, because that is such a big ask for our small office 100%. And all.
Yes.
Understanding of the whole university. We serve 100 students, and there are 3, 4, 5. Well, there were 9 of us at that time, right?
Yeah.
So 9 staff.
Now we have
and
less.
only 100 people.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you
not
for
even
that,
everyone was available too.
Right, because it's on a Saturday.
Well, the first one,
last year
one,
parent family was at what?
It was that one was at a
That
good
one
time.
it was homecoming that was at 8 a.m.
Homecoming was at
Homecoming
8 a.m.
was
Yeah.
a real struggle.
Yeah.
But we worked, especially for Parent Family Weekend. We worked with the Kelly Autism Program to partner together, SSSD and CAP. They brought some extra supplies. They definitely promoted it a lot.
Yeah.
Had a lot of their students come by. And overall, the goal of these spaces are just to create a community. So not just WKU students, right? There were several parents that came. There were several family members that came through as well. But just providing them a space that is not too sensory overwhelming. We don't blare music. We have some, but it's not overwhelming. We have several activities for folks to do. Anything from coloring to making arts and crafts, to snacks, just to
cornhole.
Cornhole outside, to have some of that football, that typical tailgating experience, right? We pull it a little bit away from the main tailgating area. We do it inside, so it's air conditioning, it's noise controllable for the most part, right? It is a really great space to have a safe, healthy atmosphere for people who want to tailgate but don't want to get involved in something that may be too overwhelming.
Mhm.
for them.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun time planning that. I mean, we spent a lot of time and asking different questions like, who all do we allow to come in? Is it only SSSD? Is it only this kind of student? Is it anybody? Like it was a lot of questions, and it was how are we going to pull this off? But I think they went really well. We our parent family one definitely had a lot more attendance,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's because it was at a nice time instead of 8 a.m.
Yeah.
But
the
I look
homecoming
forward
was
this
a
year.
struggle.
Yeah, the homecoming. Well, also we didn't get to promote it as much as the
Right.
parent family one and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think there was 3 of us working it. It was
Yeah.
me, you, and Rena, because
Yeah.
everyone else was busy doing homecoming activities.
Yep.
And
Well,
so
you had your own homecoming.
yeah, I
too.
was like
You were a
in
homecoming
between queen
candidate.
candidate and like helping with SSSD. So I was like in my dress pinning balloons to the wall and
Yeah.
everything. So, but this
I was
year.
there.
I was gonna say Ella was
Yes,
there as well.
yeah,
She
and he
even
took
brought her
pictures and
family.
stuff. Yeah.
To like help with setup and stuff like
Yes,
that. So.
for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But hey, it
Hey, it
helps.
helps.
Yes.
Every little moment kind of helps when we're short staffed like that.
Yeah, for
we're
sure.
trying to pull out something way larger than what we traditionally can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this year, we will be hosting those on September 20th is the Parent Family Weekend Tailgate. I believe it is 3
3
p.m.
o'clock.
Yeah, 3
Yes.
o'clock to 5 p.m. We'll be there.
With game at 6.
Yes, so make sure you join us for that as well. And then the homecoming one will be on November 1st at 11.
Yes.
All
That
these
one's
times are gonna be
once
posted.
they announce the
Yeah.
theme and everything, that one will be more
Yeah,
promoted.
I'm hoping
November
for.
the first football game starts at 2:30. So
Okay,
Yeah, so
so
it's
I think I'm pretty sure it's at 11 to 1.
Well, once again, that'll be more firmed
Yeah.
up once they announce the theme, so look out for that.
And each of those will be in DSU night class, which, as Jimmie was saying, is a little bit off from all of the outside tailgating events. That way, it's not too loud or too smelly outside. But then we're in the building and in the room right next to South Lawn, so that
Yeah.
way we're still there and you
You
can
can
look out, see the
see all of it,
cheerleaders
yeah.
and everything. So kind of moving on just a little bit, kind of still talking about the tailgate. So how do you think that this tailgate differs from traditional tailgating events, and also what kind of accommodations or features do we host at them?
great question. I
Shout
think
out,
it.
Thank you.
I think it is different in the aspect of it's much more manageable for those who may have some sensory. What's the word I'm looking for? Not deprivation. That's definitely not the right word. But like for
Sensibility?
sensory needs, right?
Mhm.
Like if you are somebody who gets
Sensitivity, that's the word.
overwhelmed. Thank you, sensitivities. If you are somebody who gets overwhelmed easily by too many people, too much noise, too loud, too much light, etc. This is a great, much calmer, much chill space that you can come into. Like I mentioned earlier, we have music, we have tailgating, or I'm using air quotes, traditional tailgating activities, but we do it at a pace and at a volume that is much more inclusive than trying to walk through South Lawn and have that same type of experience. What was the second part of your question? Or
Just
what to expect?
well, I mean, yeah, basically, like in terms of like accommodations and what sets us apart from the normal tailgating event. Like, why should they come to us?
Yeah, I think we'll have some earplugs. We'll have a bunch of different activities, like I mentioned, anything from painting and more crafty kind of activities that are designed for maybe people who aren't as sports focused, right? But we will then also have, for those who want to feel like they are getting a traditional tailgating experience, we'll have cornhole, we'll have snacks.
There will also be pictures, so you can take a picture with your family.
Yeah,
We should do
yeah.
hot chocolate. I just want hot chocolate right now. We should do like pin the tail on the donkey, but make
There's
it football.
also sensory-friendly
And the tail on Big Red.
toys that will be there.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are really nice to use at the football
Fidget
game.
Yes, fidget
all
toys.
kinds of stuff.
You can even create your own. What are those? What are the soap and
the oil
Sensory
tubes?
yeah,
bottle
Yeah,
the
thing.
bottles,
I don't know,
yes.
Rena leads those. She does
Yeah.
amazing at that.
Yes,
She's
but you
just-
can
Shout
make
out to Miss
those.
Rena for doing so much of these sensory events for our office. Like, girl, I couldn't do it. You do great.
Yeah, she's amazing. Alrighty, so we got one more quick question in this area. Just a fun little one that I threw in. So it's a two-parter. Are you ready?
Okay.
Ask
Alright.
him the first part.
Out of every event that we have done so far, what has been your favorite? And looking forward for all the events this school year, including like fall and spring, what are you most excited for?
That is a great question. Are you including trips, or are you just wanting to know about events? Because the answer will differ greatly.
Let's keep it just events, like events hosted on our campus.
The single event that I am always, I think I will probably always be the most proud of, is our banquet.
I knew you were going to say it. I think that one's my favorite.
Just because it was an idea that came together very quickly.
Like a month.
Well, I feel like we started talking about it in like January, and then all of a sudden it was like March, and we're like, okay, we've got to finish this.
Originally it was supposed to be SAA banquet, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. I don't have any money. Right. So that's how it started out in January. And then we were kind of talking in March, and they were like, oh, well, let's just do it both. And then we hammered down and...
and it was created in less than a month.
Yeah. So, I think, having... Mark Lord, who's the Bowling Green representative for Brett Guthrie from our government. It was great to have him there. It was great to have Dr. Sales. It was great to have Dr. Broush there. Just to have like multiple points of connection for our students. But it was also great to recognize them, right? That was the thing that I am probably most proud of, is it wasn't about me. And I loved that I could just sit back and enjoy things and let it happen, because I do feel like up to that point in a lot of my things that I've done in my career, it's always been me like I'm doing like 12 different things at the same time to pull off an event. I don't get to enjoy it, but that was one that I was actually able to sit back, take it all in, enjoy it, and make good memories.
Shout out Katie for that.
Yeah.
She worked very hard on that.
Katie and Steven did a great job last year making sure that event went off without a hitch.
I also think my favorite part about that was just how many students came.
Yeah.
Like there were so many students there.
It was like 38-ish. It was high. It was upper 30s.
But still, being able to, like, as staff members, talk to them, graduates see where they're going, and
I think the event was also my favorite, just because, like you were saying, having all these super important people come to our event and get to like watch our students and getting to. Even Mark Lord, he graciously announced the scholarship winners. Yeah. And so that's a really cool, important government person, recognizing our students and recognizing that hard work. And Dr. Sales and Dr. Broush were supposed to be able to present awards, and then they ended up having to go to another thing, which is totally okay, because it was a little, I think they found out about it also a month before it happened. So it's maybe this year it'll be a little bit, we'll get a little bit more playing again.
We'll start playing in January.
Yeah, maybe even maybe February. March 1st. But no, I think that's been my favorite event, because just like you said, recognizing those students. And I was standing there and I was like, okay, we have to get a picture for the Instagram with Mark Lord. Yes. And then every time I looked over, a new student was talking with him. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think, I was so focused on calling him and getting him to the event, so many phone calls with him. I was like, oh, I didn't even think of what a marketing opportunity this is, and a connection opportunity for students, to get to talk to him. And especially I'm thinking Monica, shout out her, I love her so much. She is going into criminology and law and that kind of thing, so I looked over and she was talking with them. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I think that's also been my favorite event. So now, looking ahead for this school year, and if you want to do trips, you can, but I don't.
Well, we talk about trips.
That's a whole other,
I think there is one event this year that I'm absolutely looking forward to the most, and it is our first generation leadership conference that we are planning. This has been something that I have thought about doing for probably 3 years now.
Oh wow.
Ever since we started taking students on the bigger trips, I've always thought to myself, how can we open this up to even more students, right? So the funds to take more students is not available. That's not something that we can really do, and especially we just started, thankfully, thank the Lord, we are on our new grant, baby. 5 more years. You all aren't done with us yet.
This podcast's going to be around for 5 more years.
Hey, can we make it happen?
Season 20.
Will my voice give out? Probably. But
will he lose his co-host?
Oh yeah, y'all are gone. Ella leaves in December. Katie leaves in May.
He's got to find a new one.
Is that a secret? When does that come out? Oh, she should be in the office by now also. Anyways. Anyways, continue.
Yes,
So
First
this-
Generation Conference.
First
We're
Gen
so
Conference.
excited about it. It is November 14th and 15th. It'll start around noon that Friday, and then Saturday it will go up into till the football game, and we can all go to the football game together. So
Everyone
look for that.
recognized at the
Yeah.
football game.
Yes, registration should be opening around the time this podcast comes out, early September. So make sure you get registered. There's limited spots. So yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing at this conference?
So it's going to be themed to superheroes. So the whole idea
Sorry, I got
is
excited.
that you get to go to, the students get to choose which sessions they go to, so that they can help try and build their own superhero. They can build the skills that they need to become their own version of a superhero, whatever that may look like for them. And as cheesy as that sounds to the students, I promise you, it's going to be even cheesier when we get there.
You should see our video filming for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's going to be amazing. So, I really want students who are first generation to come to the conference and to learn about different pathways that they can work towards their career goals, that they can meet new students, meet new faculty, meet new staff, community members, etc., to really help round out the connections that they're going to need to be successful in their later years here at the university and then for decades afterwards. So again, there'll be open sessions. There's going to be a graduate school fair. Katie's out right now inviting multiple different schools. We're not ready to announce
Woo.
any of those right now.
I've had one sign up.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. So
Shout out to them.
there will be a grad school fair one day. The next day it will be kind of like a mini career fair where different companies in the Bowling Green area will come out, set up a table, and they'll be able to, advertise like, hey, we're hiring or we're going to be hiring, etc. So, Ella, who graduates in December, that would, for students in that kind of a situation, it would be a great time to go and meet with companies who are hiring or are about to be hiring, etc. I mean, even for May graduates like Katie, to kind of start putting your foot in the door for different places.
Also, it is completely free. I do want to say
Yes.
that
Completely
because
free.
I know that's a barrier for some people. So it's completely free to register. You just have to tell us when you're going to be there, who you are, that kind of thing,
When
so
does
we
that
can
link
be
go
prepared.
out? That registration.
September.
It'll go out around the time this podcast is released.
Woo! Which
Yes.
is around what?
Which is
Are
around
we not doing
early
this on purpose?
September.
Okay. Alrighty, moving on.
So now we're going to move on to just talking about advocacy and kind of like your hopes for WKU in the broader
Ooh.
community.
Mm.
This is a
So, what are your long-term hopes for neurodivergency advocacy at WKU and beyond?
Phenomenal question.
Thank you.
Shout out Ella. Woo.
Shout out to
Shout out Ella for
just kidding.
creating all of these questions for every podcast. She sends us her questions and we say, all right, sounds good.
I do some editing. Maybe you just say, okay, sounds
I
good.
don't look at them until we are sitting in this
Yeah,
room.
it shows.
Anyway.
I try.
So my goals for neurodiversity and where I want to see Western and the greater Bowling Green
Yes.
community go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really want to create a community on campus and off where students who are neurodiverse can have multiple resources
Mm-hmm.
to solve any kind of issue that they may have, right? If you're a neurodiverse student who struggles with housing insecurities, right? Like you don't have a home to go back to, right?
Mhm.
Like I want multiple places to be out there. There's nothing that I can really do to make that happen. I do not have the cash flow to make that happen. But I want to encourage them and connect them with the resources that are available in the community to make that happen. If you're a neurodiverse student who is coming to WKU and just wants to be normal and doesn't want any extra help, I still want to talk to you and be like, bro, you sure about that? And just to talk about what can happen, right? When you get to college, Western or anywhere, You know, if you're not able to academically succeed, you're going to struggle. Like, it's going to be hard to keep your scholarships. It's going to be hard to keep your financial aid, your loans, if you're not, you know, above 2.0, right? So if you have multiple semesters below, you know, put yourself in danger of being academically dismissed, which means you cannot attend any college or university for an academic year. So like, you really put yourself behind, and then what happens to you in that year, you know, things can go off the rails very quickly. So my goal, my dream, my vision is for WKU, for the Bowling Green community, to have multiple resources for students to be successful on the Hill and beyond.
Sorry, I was quoting Buzz Lightyear.
Infinity and beyond.
I think
That's
that's
my question.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. I think that's really good and really important. And what can the broader WKU community, like students, faculty, staff, leadership, anyone, do to help support your work that you're doing through FSNDA and that you want to hopefully accomplish?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing will be, maybe I won't say that one. I had a semi-intrusive thought. I think it's just continuing to support the students that come to your office, right? So if you're a faculty member and, you know, a student has the courage to come to your office and to say, like, hey, I need some extra help, I hope that they will, one, be aware of the resources that are on campus, but two, probably more importantly than that even, is that they're just willing to show compassion to that student. I know several hundreds of our WKU faculty are great people that really want to help and make a change and be the difference for a lot of students across campus. So I know that's not a major issue. WKU is not one of those institutions that, you know, shuns voices or anything like that. So I really think that students with neurodiversity, physical ability challenges, etc., have a space on this hill where they can feel comfortable and feel like they can ask for help, and then it's rewarded. So that's kind of what I would like to see on campus. As far as FSNDA goes, you know, I would really like to help push the organization to be more prominent, to be more active across campus. But even beyond that, you know, as an organization, we've kind of thrown around the idea of even expanding FSNDA to other campuses, right?
Very
So
cool.
this is something several years down the road, but I would love to see, you know, a Sky CTC branch of FSNDA. I would love to see a Murray State FSNDA, you know, a Washington State University FSNDA, like, you know, all the way across the country. So don't know why I picked Washington State. I have literally no connection to that school
That's
at all.
at the very top left.
I mean, that's where the state of Washington
Yeah,
is.
you said Washington State.
Well, Washington State University is in Pullman, which is on the
Oh, I
eastern
thought you
part
meant
of
like
the state.
like Kentucky State
No.
or like California State. Like, anyways.
Anyways, we want to expand.
Woo!
Yes, so expansion of our offerings beyond campus would be the dream for that.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna finish it up here with one last question. So, if you could look into the imaginary camera, what advice would you give to a neurodivergent student who may be struggling to find their place or voice on campus?
Ask for help. As simple as that
Yes.
sounds, that is so challenging, but I promise you it is worth it. Find the offices that you believe will provide you with the best help possible. If that's SSSD, if that's ISAC, if that's OLAS, whoever, find the organizations on campus that you feel comfortable with and work with them to get even more resources. All of our offices, all of our organizations across campus are extremely well connected. WKU is so small in that way that it allows for multiple offices to help support students on a personal level. It's not, you know, like our bigger school colleagues that are only able to identify students as numbers. Western is small enough to care, but also big enough to matter in so many different ways.
Poetic.
And it was a bar, wasn't it? Thank you. That was some school slogan at some point. I don't remember which one. It might have been Morehead's. But I really would say to a student, it's okay to ask for help. It is not okay to struggle in silence. That leads to more stress, anxiety, etc., etc. And that is not a healthy and or good place to be in. And if SSSD can do anything to help relieve some of that stress or to make things a little bit easier on you, my office will do everything they can to help you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast.
Woo, I survived.
Yes. You have a great rest of the day, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of SSSD Beyond the Hill, brought to you by WKU Student Support Services Disabilities.
We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to take advantage of all of the incredible resources and opportunities available to you here at WKU.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, and share it with your friends and everyone else you know. You can also follow us on social media for updates and additional resources. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, we'd love to hear from you. Just give us a shout.
At SSSD, our mission is freedom to dream, empowered to achieve. With us, you're never alone on your journey for academic success. Take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.